Hi, Violet.
Hi, Mama.
Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm in the band Lovie. Every year, my band and my husband's band, El Gato, get together to host an event called the Ultraviolet Rock Show and Art Auction for Cystic Fibrosis. The name Ultraviolet came from, actually my daughter's name is Violet, and when she was born, my bandmate Carrie, who plays keyboards in my band, nicknamed her Ultraviolet. And then when she was diagnosed at 15 months old with CF, we decided to just raise money for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation and put on a rock show, and then the lead singer for El Gato, John, said let's call it the Ultraviolet Rock Show. And that's where it came from. When Violet was about 6 months old, she started exhibiting signs of, she was a real wheezy, coughy kid, and I pretty much just assumed that she had asthma. And so right around, she was about a little over a year old, I took her to a pulmonologist, and the very first thing he asked me when he saw her was, has she ever been tested for cystic fibrosis? CF is a very, very high maintenance disease. You don't just take a couple of pills, you don't just take a couple of shots. I mean, it starts from the minute Violet wakes up. She starts treatments and therapies. She takes pills all day long every time she eats food, and then she's doing treatments before she goes to bed. And then she also has to be fed through a tube overnight to get extra calories and nutrients that her body just can't absorb. So you're on autopilot most of the time. You just know you just have to do these things. Every time she gets sick or gets hospitalized, it really, for a parent especially, it's a slap in the face. It's like, oh yeah, my daughter has CF. CF is a very rare disease. There's only about 30,000 young adults and kids in the United States that have it. So it's so rare. We don't get government support to help fund finding a cure. So everything is based on families and individual donors and private donors. And we were overwhelmed. You know, we had our daughter diagnosed with this horrible disease. We didn't know much about it, didn't know what to do. And then we started learning more about the CF Foundation and just what an awesome organization they are. They give back 90% of everything raised, so they don't just take your money and waste it. I mean, when we're raising money for Violet or for CF, we're really, really making a difference. So we just started putting it together, and it came together so quick, and we didn't know what we were doing, and it was so much fun. Everybody felt so good, and nobody was keeping any money for themselves. The club had given us the door. All of the bands were giving all their merch sales, and well, we had to do it again. By the second year, a friend of mine, Ann Fitzgerald, said, you know, I really love Ultraviolet, let's do an art auction. And so I said, okay, I don't know anything about that. And she said, well, luckily I do. Well, what the show has really developed into is it's almost like a little mini festival in a way. So we have multiple acts, and we run them really quick. And one of the great things we like about having the event here is that there are two main stages, so we can have a band playing here, and then while this band is tearing down, there's instantly music going on the other stage, and then we can flip-flop and fit as many people as we can. I can't really explain what it feels like to be at Ultraviolet. You kind of have to experience it for yourself, but every year when people leave, they're hugging me, they're hugging each other. The music scene, the community has been, they've opened their hearts and their arms. Club Dada has been just a home to a lot of really great things that have happened in the Dallas music scene, and they've been a great friend to my band, Lovie, and so it was sort of a no-brainer to ask if we could have the event. And I have bands contact me all year long and say, hey, I want to play Ultraviolet. If you need someone to play, I'll play. So we're talking about people I don't even know. Everybody who's involved, I just feel like we just all we need a group hug every time we're all together, because it's pretty amazing. And nobody asks for anything in return. It's all 100% volunteer-based, and every single cent goes to the CF Foundation. People, they just want to open their heart and help save lives, because that's really what they're doing, is they're finding a cure, and it's not impossible and it's not that far away. It's going to happen.